Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another beautiful, beautiful day or night, like it is for myself. Today we are listening to Adrienne Lenker. We're going to listen to this track, Sadness as a Gift. This is off of her album, Bright Future, which was released in 2024. We're listening to this track because it was suggested and recommended by Sausage Breadson, which I love that name. Sausage Breadson. I love it, honestly. That's a great name. Let's go ahead and dive into this. I've never heard of Adrienne Lenker, but we're going to give ourselves a try. Album cover, I'm getting country, I'm getting folk, something of that nature. Can't help but think of that. But we'll find out what it's all about as we listen to it. Let's talk about it a little bit after. Here we go.
One, two, three, four.
Starry-eyed country sound.
You and I both know there is nothing more to say. Chance has shut her shining eyes and turned her face away. Leaning on the windowsill, you could write me someday, and I think you will. We could see the sadness as a gift and still feel too heavy to hold. Snow falling, I try to keep from calling. Watch the spring turn to winter, fireflies all frozen. The seasons go so fast, thinking that this one was gonna last. Maybe the question was too much to ask. Been searching for your eyes, all I see is blue skies. And that old man beats his crooked cane, it's time to let go. Leaning on the windowsill, you could write me someday, and I bet you will. We could see the sadness as a gift and still the seasons go so fast, thinking that this one was gonna last.
I love that one.
Maybe the question was too much to ask.
Love that violin as well. Violin has a very folky melody to it.
You and I could see into the same eternity, every second brimming with a majesty. Oh, kiss so sweet, so fine, you could hear the music inside my mind. And you showed me a place I'll find, even when I'm old, just leaning on the windowsill. You could write me someday, and I hope you will. We could see the sadness as a gift and still the seasons go so fast, thinking that this one was gonna last. Maybe the question was too much to ask.
Oh, and it just ends like that. I don't know why. I thought that was another line. I'm sitting here following along with the lyrics, and I thought there was something else, but it ended almost preemptively or a little bit like too early. And you know what? I like how the music fits with the lyrics, and the whole mood of this track feels like sadness and yet still a little bit of hope or a little bit of brightness in there. And as the lyrics kind of, at least from what I can gather, kind of describe like the relationship has ended, but not necessarily on bad terms. And perhaps in the future, at some point, we can kind of reconnect in a more friend kind of way, or, you know, that kind of thing. And I think the music itself really captures that. It is filled with sadness. I really like Miss Lenker's voice, and especially when she hits that one kind of raspier note when, fast, when she rises into it. I'm not going to try, but it gives a little bit of a rasp and a little bit of something there that I really like. I love when those imperfections come through in the vocals or in any sort of music. And I don't mean that as, you know, a diss or a con to the approach here in the performance, but I love those little things. A voice crack, it shows emotion, you know, things like that. You know, I don't like overly polished music where it's just so clean and so pristine. No, let's put some dirt on it. It makes it more relatable, makes it come across more natural. And I really enjoyed how she sang here. The gentle swing of the music with, of course, the acoustic guitar kind of leading things. Some kind of starry-eyed piano just kind of brightly and subtly played in the background. The really wonderful violin, of course, that comes in kind of, to me, adding an almost more folk sound to it, just really gently moving things along. And then kind of very subtly, you have male vocals as well harmonizing with her. That's going to be Nick Hakim rather, on the vocals, and he's also who's handling the piano in here as well. Josephine Rustin on violin, which, like I said, really was just a lovely addition here. This was like a nice, slow-moving, swinging, romantic, but not quite romantic. Maybe there was romance in the lyrics kind of song that just moves things along really, really nicely. I thought that this was a nice, sweet, gentle track with a nice sound. It's not necessarily the type of music that I would on my own listen to so much. I like generally, depending. Of course, it's all contextual. But generally, I like something a little bit more happening in this sort of genre. With this type of stripped down acoustic music, I need something to hook me into it a little bit deeper. And like I said, I think that this is a sweet song to listen to and a pleasant experience. It's not quite capturing me or hooking me, but that's, you know, there could always be another song from her that would absolutely get me. I do love the count-in. You and I both know there is nothing more to say. Chance has shut her shining eyes and turned her face away. Leaning on the windowsill, you could write me someday, and I think you will. I love that little bit of I think you will, right? That, once again, that hope. We could see the sadness as a gift and still feel too heavy to hold. Like that initial sadness, we could perhaps see it as a gift and maybe it'll be beneficial for us in the future. Who knows? And still, it would be too heavy to hold. Well, maybe we can hold it together. Snowfall and I try to keep from calling. Watch the spring turn to winter. Fireflies all frozen. I love this line. I try to keep from calling. Like, don't pick up the phone. Don't pick up the phone. Don't ruin this, right? And then, of course, the symbolism of watching the spring, life, turn to winter, death, representative. Fireflies all frozen. That light, now stuck, now dead. Seasons go too fast, thinking this one was going to last. Maybe the question was too much to ask. What was the question? We don't know. It's not here in the lyrics, but perhaps that was the tipping point, whatever it may have been, or meant in the relationship. Been searching for your eyes, all I see is blue skies, and that old man beats his crooked cane. It's time to let go. So once again, there's that acceptance at the end of this verse. Of course, the lyrics repeat here again in the chorus. You and I could see into the same eternity, every second brimming with a majesty. Like we both have the same perspective. We're both approaching this with the same viewpoints, and we're both on the same page, basically, with how this relationship ended, and perhaps where it can reconnect in the future in some capacity. Oh, kiss so sweet, so fine, you could hear the music inside my mind, and you showed me a place I'll find even when I'm old. Just leaning on the windowsill, you could write me someday, I hope you will. We can see the sadness as a gift, and still, those seasons go so fast, thinking that this one was going to last. Maybe the question was too much to ask. That little ending line of reflection there. And once again, relating the seasons, as she mentioned, spring to winter, and these seasons going too fast, time moving forward. Perhaps time will be the healing factor in this ending of the relationship, and perhaps it'll bring them together in some capacity there in the future. Or maybe not, but it seems that they're both in a good place to perhaps resolve those differences on peaceful terms and perhaps reconnect in some capacity. I'm not sure, but I like that. Sausage, thank you so much. This feels weird saying sausage. Thank you so much for the recommendation and for the support. Really, really appreciate that. Of course, everyone else, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you, as always, for being here. Please come back by tomorrow, and I will see you all later. Bye.